All right, to discuss this further, I'm now being joined by Ambassador Anil Trigunath from New Delhi. He's a former Indian diplomat, has served in various Indian missions and also served as Director General, Joint Secretary for the Gulf and Hajj divisions in the Ministry of External Affairs. Ambassador, thank you so much for joining me here on the broadcast. Always a pleasure speaking with you. Sir, now these list of 12 countries mentions, it goes as far as Eritrea, Equatorial Guinea, Haiti. It leaves out Pakistan. And, if you just combine it with what happened even in the midst of peak tensions of Operation Sindoor, when that IMF tranche of funds was, it was given to Pakistan, US being the only country which could have cancelled it, it didn't. And now you see this, Pakistan not being part of this list of countries, especially when it is stemming out of concerns regarding terror acts in the US. What does it say regarding US stance on Pakistan?
Well, I fully agree with you. What you're saying is that the duplicity and these kind of double standards of the United States and the Western countries with regard to visa impositions and using tariffs and several other kinds of measures has been very well known for quite some time. It's not new, something which is expected. As far as these visas are concerned, of course, one should admit and agree to that visa is a sovereign decision of any country to allow citizens from other country or not. I mean, that cannot be questioned, but its intent can definitely be. And you can see the select countries that they have taken 12+7 very clearly indicates that. I can tell you something else before that had happened. You remember that the USA also was involved in hosting the Summit of Democracies. And in the Summit of Democracies, they invited at that time Pakistan, but not Bangladesh. Now, we all know what kind of democracy there is, and that this is a state which has been perpetrating terrorism. And so they use these countries as a pawn in the chess game, basically. It is not something that we are going to see that just because of this or that. Pakistan is known for fomenting terror, hosting the largest number of designated terrorist groups which are designated by United Nations as well as by the United States itself. And there is a much greater threat from them, and our members team, member parliament team had very clearly articulated that it is not just within the shores of Pakistan or India or in South Asia. It can hurt and hit anywhere, wherever it is. It finds a way, and USA has suffered from 9/11 terror attacks. And if you remember that until 9/11 happened, they did not even acknowledge that India was suffering from terrorism 2 decades before. So this has been very clearly the case all through. What does it indicate? Indicates that as far as terrorism is concerned, we'll have to fight our own battle while sensitizing everyone else. So this is something we'll have to deal with it. And as far as assistance is concerned, you mentioned about the IMF. Yes, even if they would not have cancelled it, there was a time when they and all our friends who say that they are our strategic friends and partners could have at least delayed by a week or 10 days. That could have happened. That did not happen. They actually did. India was the only country that, because in the IMF, you can either abstain or you can positive vote. So they voted in and they allowed it. The message was very clear that irrespective of what Pakistan does, it can go scot-free and will continue as far as other countries are concerned. So India will have to, and this is what the policy that Indian Prime Minister has clearly articulated, that it is not only the terrorists, but the sponsors of terrorists will also be held accountable. And India will continue to take action against them.
Understood, Ambassador. Sir, now just taking a little further from what you just mentioned, does America need a reminder on where Osama bin Laden was found? Abbottabad is very much in Pakistan, and Pakistan figures nowhere in this list of 12 countries. Even 12+7, if you take, even there Pakistan is nowhere considered. Also, and this is at a time when India's diplomatic outreach, the global outreach, where India is showing that photograph of a terrorist standing with military personnel in Pakistan, and this is after Operation Sindoor, where those terror infrastructure outfits were eliminated by India's calculated strikes. Even then, when the proof is out there for the whole world to see, is America really turning a blind eye to obvious facts which have bit themselves? 9/11 was the worst attack America had seen. And till now, and this is in 2025, we see that Pakistan is nowhere on that list. Do you feel this is going to impact India-US relations going forward in the background of all of this that we've just discussed in the past 5 minutes?
Well, I think that it will not, in a material sense, impact the bilateral relationship because we know it that we are dealing with some kind of an hypocrisy when it comes to terrorism from this and many other countries in the region who supposedly are our strategic partners and friends and all that. So, but at the same time, I think that this will enhance greater engagement under the CT grouping, the counterterrorism group that we have with them, more discussions and the more raising it at a higher level as we have been trying to sensitize most of the countries where these delegations have gone, foreign secretary has gone, and the external affairs ministers have gone, where it has been told to everybody that terrorism is not only India specific. Terrorism is a global problem. It needs a global solidarity. India came up with a comprehensive convention on international terrorism that has been gaining dust in the UN corridors. So, United Nations Security Council by itself, which means all the P5 countries, have in many ways facilitated the mainstreaming of the uh, of terrorism. I mean, you remember, you saw just TRF, the organization that was involved in the Pahalgam attacks with the Pakistani support. India has asked for its listing it, and China has put a technical hold on it. Now, all these things very clearly indicate that they still believe in my terrorist versus yours, good terrorists versus bad terrorists. And these decisions are also uh, basically taken on the basis of their own geopolitical considerations and calculations.
Ambassador Trigunayat, thank you so much for sharing all your insights and your thoughts on
Thank you.
this. Clearly, when it comes to the fight against terrorism, India is finding itself on its own. That was Ambassador Trigunayat joining me here on the broadcast.